Welcome back, Raven. Many have been recently familiarized with the term SCI, or Secret, Compartmented Information, however, Special Access Program, or SAP, as articulated in Executive Order 12958, dated April 17, 1995, means a program established for a specific class of classified information that imposes safeguarding and access requirements that exceed those normally required for information at the same classification level. Unless otherwise authorized by the President, only the Secretaries of State, Defense and Energy, and the Director of Central Intelligence, or the Principal Deputy of each, may create a special access program. For special access programs pertaining to intelligence activities, including special activities, but not including military operational, strategic and tactical programs, or intelligence sources or methods, this function will be exercised by the Director of Central Intelligence. These officials shall keep the number of these programs at an absolute minimum, and shall establish them only upon a specific finding that 1. The vulnerability of, or threat to, specific information is exceptional, and 2. The normal criteria for determining eligibility for access applicable to information classified at the same level are not deemed sufficient to protect the information from unauthorized disclosure, or 3. The program is required by statute. Special access programs shall be limited to programs in which the number of persons who will have access ordinarily will be reasonably small and commensurate with the objective of providing enhanced protection for the information involved. Each agency head shall establish and maintain a system of accounting for special access programs consistent with directives issued pursuant to this order. Special access programs shall be subject to the Oversight Program, and the Director of the Information Security Oversight Office shall be afforded access to these programs, in accordance with the security requirements of each program, in order to perform the functions assigned to the Information Security Oversight Office under this order. An agency head may limit access to a special access program to the Director and no more than one other employee of the Information Security Oversight Office, or, for special access programs that are extraordinarily sensitive and vulnerable, to the Director only. The agency head or principal deputy shall review annually each special access program to determine whether it continues to meet the requirements of this order. Upon request, an agency shall brief the Assistant to the President for National Security Affairs, or his or her designee, on any or all of the agency's special access programs. Special access programs are not only limited in number, and subjected to strict oversight, but also shall provide a full accounting of the agency's special access programs at least annual. And further, they are subject to strict discipline, such that officers and employees of the United States government, and its contractors, licensees, certificate holders, and grantees shall be subject to appropriate sanctions if they knowingly, willfully, or negligently, 1. Disclose to unauthorized persons information properly classified. 2. Classify or continue the classification of information in violation of this order or any implementing directive. 3. Create or continue a special access program contrary to the requirements of this order, or 4. Contravene any other provision of this order or its implementing directives. Sanctions may include reprimand, suspension without pay, removal, termination of classification authority, loss or denial of access to classified information, or other sanctions in accordance with applicable law and agency regulation. For special access programs, a violation means 1. Any knowing, willful, or negligent action that could reasonably be expected to result in an unauthorized disclosure of classified information. 2. Any knowing, willful, or negligent action to classify or continue the classification of information contrary to the requirements of this order or its implementing directives, or 3. Any knowing, willful, or negligent action to create or continue a special access program contrary to the requirements of this order. With this information, in this training module, you will be required to perform analysis on the following facts. On January 31, 2020, a Friday, Christian Anderson had transmitted an email to Anthony Fauci to alert him to the fact that he and his colleagues, including Mike Warobay and Eddie Holmes, had been convinced that some of the features on the virus had appeared to be engineered. On Saturday, February 1, 2020, in response to Dr. Anderson's email, Dr. Fauci transmitted to his deputy an urgent email, forwarding a copy of a scientific report, authored by Ralph Barrick and Shijing Li, who is often referred to as the Batwoman. It was a report, published in Nature Medicine in November 2015, regarding research performed at UNC Chapel Hill on a SARS-like coronavirus that they had successfully cultivated in vivo, and, for the first time for any virus, had cultivated in vitro. In March 2015, Dr. Barrick applied for a patent on methods to develop a chimeric coronavirus spike protein. For a very brief period, running from November 7 to November 14, 2014, the Defense Intelligence Agency had published a federal job announcement, number CFO 103602-02 ADJ, in a top-secret SCI billet, seeking a procurement analyst, in the grade of GG-13, with a salary ranging from $89,924 to $116,901 per year. According to an email from DIA, by December 30, 2015, one applicant, who had been deemed most qualified, had declined the job offer, leaving only 2 remaining qualified applicants, at least one of whom had never applied for the position, and had happened to have been a former biological warfare planner, who had helped to stand up the AFMIC, the precursor to the NMIC, which, according to ABC News, had alerted the former president about an emerging public health crisis in China as early as November 2019. In the December 2015 email, DIA hiring officials had sought guidance from more senior defense officials, probably at the DSNT, whether they wished to extend an offer to the next most qualified applicant. However, at that time they had indicated that the mission requirement had expired, and had offered the recommendation, if there were new mission requirements, the proper course would be to cancel the former job requisition, and publish a new federal job announcement. However, in February 2016, DI extended the job offer to the applicant who had been a former biological warfare planner and who had never applied for the position. On April 7, 2023, in response to a FOIA request, number 0013332023, seeking any and all documents connecting that job announcement to a top-secret special access program being conducted at UNC Chapel Hill, DIA described the related transaction as an unusual circumstance, had stated that would require more time to provide a response, and, at that time, could neither confirm nor deny that a top-secret special access program had been in place at UNC Chapel Hill that procurement analyst had been slated to support. DIA stated, at that time, that it could not even estimate how long it would require to provide a more complete response, and, to date, no response to the FOIA has yet been published, while a FOIA request to determine the identity of the authorizing official for the job offer has been the subject of 2 litigations, the most recent having been filed at the federal court in Washington on August 17, 2023.
This message was approved by Major Mike Webb. Honest.